Hey Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No.
Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
Your husband burned. You didn't by any chance lead him to the lake blindfolded.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
And we're back. Doing Lake Placid this week, guys.
Kind of out of left field, actually. Like, we, all the movies we've done, there's been some sort of underlying reason, and we just all discuss movies we love. And one person mentioned Lake Placid, I think it was Mike that started it, and all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, I love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie.
There is a solid argument to say that it fits in with the theme of what genre is it?
Oh, does it ever?
Very much so.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know. What genre is it?
I still think it's sci-fi action.
Pre-movie. Okay, sci-fi action.
It's got a little bit of everything in it. In the end, I say the safe bet that most video stores put it in, I would put it under horror.
Sake of argument, I'm going to go with drama.
I would put it as a comedy / horror. That's what I would put it under. If we're really running the gamut here, science fiction,
So now we can
drama,
watch it and then we can argue later.
drama, comedy. We're just going to go wherever. So can we talk about how, I don't know what the term is I'm looking for, but how kind of sad that the whole reason the Bridget Fonda character's here is because she got dumped.
Her boyfriend's a dickhead.
Yeah, her boyfriend was cheating
For
on
the
her.
longest time, I'm like, isn't that Ben Stein? And no, it's not.
Well, yeah.
It's like the worst breakup in the world, right?
Yeah, she leaves her for her best friend / coworker.
And sends her to
Maine.
Maine.
Yeah, from New York.
I mean, of
God
all
damn.
things, Maine.
Yeah. It's like this Stephen King homage movie,
What's that guy's name?
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan.
Arguably, he's, I want to say my favorite character in this, but it'll change in another scene. But I love all the characters in this. What I love is about this movie is all the characters are so strong in their own right.
Well, that's what you're right. That's what makes this movie is the character work in this one. It's kind of a generic story. It's a crocodile instead of a shark, or instead of a giant squid, right? This could be any monster of the week, and the characters make this movie shine.
Yeah, and they borderline. They walk the line of being 2-dimensional, but there's just as much 3-dimension in them to make them likable.
Well, it's not like this won any Oscars or got nominated.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, how did it do in the theaters when it first was released?
Oh, I
I think
One
it was a moderate success. It wasn't like a knockout success, but it was a success nonetheless. No one was claiming it was a flop.
Okay, we're at the scene where the sheriff's loading up the back of the Blazer, and it's just I feel like I've seen that in 2/3 of horror movies. The kids are always stopping at this convenience store before they head to this camp or that camp or the cabin.
And how does everybody in those movies have this 30-year-old vehicle that's in prestige shape, right?
Well, this was 20 years ago.
Actually,
so
it's funny. It's something I was going to mention later, but you totally made me think of it. There's one scene where they're already camped out and everything like that, and they show them walking in the muck, and their shoes are spotless. I'm like, but okay.
But that's just trend with any cheesy movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it doesn't.
It's like when you watch a movie and the cars are mint, not even a speck of dust on them.
Oh yeah.
the windshield breaks and 5 seconds later.
I'm pretty confident at some point the female lead wears white pants while camping on this lake beach.
But that's her character, though. She wouldn't necessarily.
No,
know
she's a
better.
girly girl. Yeah.
She
But
complains about the fact of even going camping.
Well,
Tents.
she does have a whole scene about tents, white tents.
When they said camping, she thought they were talking like the Hilton.
Ramada Inn. She actually said it, so I'm like, hey.
See, when I was in school, grade, 11 or whatever it was we all went on this outdoor ed trip.
Oh, we did
spent
that too.
2 days up at Coal Lake in the mountains, and it was like a 1-mile hike in. The one girl, we all know, she brought a Black Forest cake in with her. That was her, and this is Bridget Fonda's character, right? There's just people out there like that.
Is she hauling a trailer?
No, but she didn't have much else.
I'm impressed that she got a Black Forest cake on an 11-mile hike. Like, was there anything left of this cake?
Well, I don't know. I really didn't. She was one of these oddballs that was kind of left her alone. I got so many stories about her. She's a wonderful, wonderful human being. Don't get me wrong. She was an oddball, crazy, nutty girl, but she had a heart of gold. I'll tell you that.
My bio camping trip, whatever, is in Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan.
Okay.
But the lakes are nice in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, but it's so boony there. It's
But
quite
yeah, except for in Saskatchewan, they call them sloughs.
But northern
No,
Saskatchewan.
Albertans call Saskatchewan lakes.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes in this whole movie.
Oh, we're on to the
The first
introduction of
appearance
Betty
of
White.
Betty White.
The
Yeah.
first appearance of Betty White, yes.
Oh my God, she's so young in this. What is she, like 70? 72?
Yeah, right.
72, yeah.
That
saw
might
this-
actually be correct.
I saw this post the other day. It's like Steve Martin just celebrated his 79th birthday. Wasn't he 79 back in the 80s?
So I want to go back for half a second in the movie. The first scene, they establish like an old Evinrude aluminum boat, and then they establish that the fish and wildlife guy has a good, nice fishing boat. Okay, why in the fuck are they the first time they go on the lake in canoes? There's
so that
canoes.
They don't have all the noise.
Do they actually explain that?
No.
Okay, because like, why are they on canoes? Like you have,
Except for
it's
Oliver
established-
Platt, because he's on the computer while Bill Pullman's doing all the rowing on his boat.
With
Like,
everything
they-
we do, you should know this.
They well established that they have boats with motors in this movie several times before they hop onto canoes, and it's like canoes.
Well, first time they're on the boat, they're in a boat.
First time they're in a boat, they're in a boat.
Okay, shut up. First time they're on the lake, they're in a boat.
I knew what he was getting at. This is the third time they're on a lake.
Yeah.
And it's a boat each
These
time.
two?
No, just,
Or these three?
just the cop. This,
Well, the
Yeah,
cop,
the
the
cop-
cop
this
was
is
on,
the
the
cop's
cop was
third
on a
time.
boat, and
I'm sure he's been on the lake hundreds of times.
but this is the second time for.
This movie.
No, this is the third time for this movie. But second time for this group.
look
Yes.
how dreamy Bill Pullman is right now. Just
Oh,
like
that's
that hair.
Casper.
He's always got that cowlick, beautiful hair. So
But it's no wonder he got cast as North Star.
Nobody knows what that is.
Lone Star. Sorry, Lone Star.
Yeah, that makes it.
Across from Barf.
yeah.
Like-
John Candy.
Only Bill Pullman could pull off Han Solo and Luke Skywalker smashed together, right?
Yeah. And dressed like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Poor Moose.
I like how later on you see the other half of them at the bottom of the lake there.
Oh, this banter.
I
They-
love it.
The classic New York uppity versus the
Redneck
See,
cop.
now any cop by this point, after how many times she's hit him, would have arrested her.
well,
Not in this era. She would have hit her back.
Well, there's that too.
no, I don't know if we're quite at that
Yeah.
era.
No, he would have arrested her.
Yeah, this is 99, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
like arguably the girl cop is cuter than her.
Oh, I was going to say, arguably, I find that her uniform is probably not issued to be that tight.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
and
looks a
form
little.
fitted. Yeah.
So, and I do have an issue with her, the tent that they set up for her. Apparently, they're not expecting rain.
Oh, the fact there's no fly on it.
Yes.
It doesn't rain in Maine, does it?
If we were so they're out there, they're hunting this mysterious creature. We're trying to figure out what this mysterious creature is. So why don't we just go camping right along the lakeside with tents?
Obviously.
That seems like we think it's a bear.
That's the
Well, why the fuck are you in
obvious
tents if you think it's a bear?
Then you're a burrito.
choice.
Well, if you know there's bears in the woods, why does anybody go camping? Or
To see-
you know how to handle bears.
Okay,
But-
but if you're actively looking for a killer bear, are you camping in the woods?
Yes.
Quite possibly, because they
if you're going to be camping in the woods, you should be camping in something a little bit more bear-proof than a tent. At least that's what I would think.
Like what?
well, here, ask
pull
yourself
up,
this.
pull up a fifth wheel.
Okay, but a bear will actually rip the door off of that.
Yeah, if that's
Like, not as quick as you're going to rip the door off of a tent.
So don't make noise.
Well, I think if you look at the fact that how many campers, hikers have bears killed compared to how many wildlife and environmentalists have been killed. It's
Well,
probably because they know what to do, they know how to behave, and they know how to react. So
And realistically, if a bear's going to attack, it's humans' fault because we're the dumbasses who keep feeding them.
I'm still saying, like, you could probably get more protective than a tent.
We're going to end up watching Yogi Bear at this rate.
This is where they introduce Oliver Platt. It's funny because he's meant to be the annoying. I don't want to say antagonist because he helps him along, but because the antagonist is obviously the alligator or the crocodile, whatever. But his bluntness, where he just like talks with somebody, like how he's talking about Brendan Cleese, is like, "You're fat." Like he literally just drops that line out of nowhere, and then like when he's talking about to the deputy girl there, he's like, "And you have wonderful boobs" or something like that.
Well, as we pointed out, her uniform's too tight, right?
Well, yeah.
It's like down Periscope.
Kelsey Grammer.
but I'm gonna say like Oliver Platt, and I'll say he's probably my favorite character, but that'll change in a different scene when we get later on. But what I love about Oliver
He's
Platt,
already the second favorite character you've had.
I know I
We're
have
20
three or
minutes
four
in.
more left. In me. What I love about Oliver Platt, besides that bluntness and this balance of sarcasm and whatever, is he transcends this idea that he's not stereotypically gorgeous or beautiful, but his confidence and the charisma of that character goes beyond that, and he's still that sexy beast that we wanted. This he draws in that female cop, and it's just like
I think the modern day, I wouldn't say equivalent, but yet comparable, would be Jack Black.
Oh, I see it, but I don't see it as well. Like, I know where you're getting at, but because he does have that confidence and charisma, right?
But I don't find Oliver Platt annoying like I do Jack Black.
I always thought, like, my first time I watched this, I'm just like, shouldn't that be like a handsome guy doing that role?
there we go. They're in canoes because they're doing the sound check, and what they do, the motorboats would disrupt the sound.
Oh, so it's not a plot hole.
That,
Even though they could turn off the boat motors at any turn.
but then they are sitting where they have to be, and they can't go to where they need to go. This way, they can slowly, quietly go through. Why there's two, I don't know. The motorboat could be like 20 yards back or something. But
Then you've got the Lake Placid drinking game, is how many times that Bridgerton ends up in the water. Like, not on purpose.
Like, he knows they're hunting a crocodile.
So
So, like-
he already does, yeah.
Well, he's certain they
he
are.
believes.
Yeah.
He believes.
So, like, but yeah, he's an eccentric
And I have
millionaire who swims with them. So, like, yeah, he's pretty
And
confident.
he thinks they're transcended creatures.
Yeah, I'd like to know a little bit more into that.
I don't recall, honestly, like, they're saying, oh, Asian cultures, Japanese cultures, Chinese.
Yeah.
I don't remember alligators or crocodiles, whatever, ever being worshipped. I mean, I knew cats, I knew, like, cows, I knew all that, but I never knew about... I'm not saying it's wrong,
No,
I didn't know that. So.
Sometimes a movie's got a movie, Corey.
Well, it depends.
Well, Russ,
For Asian, it depends like on their zodiac.
I feel
There
like
is no
that's-
crocodile in the Asian zodiac.
Alligators.
Is there?
I feel like there's the Egyptian hieroglyphs that have crocodiles or alligators.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, the Nile and all that.
Taro?
So.
Taro? I think.
What?
The one of the crocodiles, or one of the Egyptian gods. I think it's Taro.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to look this up.
Yeah.
maybe Tata. I don't remember.
Tata.
Yeah, I think that's
Nice.
a TAWTAW. Actually, I think that's the hippo. I think the hippo was Tata. Anyway, I can't think of my Egyptian gods.
There's a lot of Moon Knight happening right now. So.
Sobek.
Solbeck is the crocodile?
Yes.
Well,
This is a crocodile,
close.
right, guys?
Yes.
The
Yes.
movie we're
It's
watching.
a crocodile, not
Yeah.
an alligator. Toe.
But yeah, you were way off.
The guy lost a
Oh,
lot of
here's,
weight.
this is one of my favorite lines. I got about 40 favorite lines in this. This is one of them.
He's just a man that was...
He looked taller.
I love how they're literally picking up a worm-infested, rotted, chewed-off toe and handing it off to each other, and then they just don't even like wash their hands or anything. Like,
Oh, this is pre-COVID, you know.
I'm not germophobic. I believe in the 555-second rule, and yet that grosses me out. So,
Like, the worms would be my big problem picking up a big toe. Honestly, like, that's kind of gross.
I mean, I've picked up carcasses before, right? So it's not whatever. It's just
Animal
it's
carcasses.
weird. Yeah, animal, obviously. We don't want to let my secret out, Mike.
Why are they digging a grave right beside
They're not
they're
digging
traps.
it, it's a trap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a trap?
Yeah. The deputy there, the guy deputy, is the one guy from Galaxy Quest, the alien.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Deadpool, he's the guy that recruits Deadpool.
I can see that now.
Yeah.
He's much more...
Younger.
Well, I was going to say he's much more distinguished now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're being
so,
paid to dig the hole.
in this whole thing, they're surrounded by fish and wildlife and cops and a couple of other guys. Who the hell are they?
Well, Oliver Platzkus got his own little harem
Entourage,
of...
yeah. And his dancing. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
because his dancing doesn't make it, but his that charisma is just...
Oh, they...
Yeah.
It's very strange, this dynamic, when he first comes in here. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I honestly, like, he was so flamboyant that I didn't realize he was going to be a ladies' man, too. Like, so...
You didn't realize he was going to be a ladies' man?
Yeah.
Oh, no, again, I agree. You can be this confident, charismatic guy that just doesn't work with the ladies. But
Yeah.
he makes that work, too, which,
Yeah.
I love,
In 1999, I feel like you gotta, if you're gonna have someone that's overly charismatic, that's what the movies were gonna do. Is this like, yeah, that
Well,
guy's
I mean,
overly charismatic. The girls
You've got
are
the
fun.
Jeff Goldblum, 5 years earlier, too, right? So...
Mhm. Yeah, he didn't have quite the fawning over him, but
Not as much as he had over himself, but yeah.
So when was Three Musketeers for Disney? Because that was Oliver Platt's other sexy role.
95, 4 or 5.
yeah, 94, 95 sounds
Yes.
right.
She looks like she should be riding a horse.
Don't wear white pants camping.
But apparently, those are her pajamas.
Those are pajamas?
Yeah, she's like wearing silk pajamas.
I like when Brendan Gleeson gets out of his 10 in the night to go pee, and he's got his boxers, and he's got his wide open cop shirt on, and he's got his gun clipped to his underwear.
They are tracking down a bear at this point in
Yeah.
his mind.
So, yeah.
He's very confident about the bear until he's wrong. I actually really appreciate that.
And then when the bear gets, eaten.
Yeah, there ends up being a bear.
Same year, Jurassic Park came.
So it was 94.
93.
3. Okay. Really?
You're right. You are bad at years.
Yeah.
You made a big stink about this, about how bad I am at
I mean...
and the fact that you hit the Jurassic Park.
If you listen to our first podcast, he had like the year of Raiders, not to point out your fault, sorry. And like almost the entire time, I'm thinking in my head, I think that's wrong, but I feel bad if I correct Corey on it. I think that's wrong. And then I like eventually, it's like, yeah, sorry, Corey.
It's almost like a game now at this
It
point.
is.
Because I'm not trying to be wrong. I just suck.
Wait. Okay, what year did Terminator 2 come out?
91.
See, I think he's right about that one.
See, this falls in for me. 20 years ago, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
And that still
right?
feels to me. It's just like, fuck.
That's insane.
Don't you hate that when you look over and you see, oh, look at that old guy. Oh shit, we went to school together. Oh, man.
Man, every once in a while, I'll look at I'll check someone in and get their ID, and they look old. And I look at their ID, it's like born 1979. I'm like, shit.
Now,
So, number 2 or 3, Bridget Fonda's falling in the water again.
I wanted to address something here. Sorry to interrupt. Bridget Fonda falling third time, whatever. Jeff,
Yeah, very nice. Anyway.
Yeah, Jeff brought up something about Marvel humor. Remember we talked about
this
they cut
scene.
the scene. They cut it, and now we're here. This is several moments later. An emotional scene. Now we have a joke here.
No, the emotionalness is coming up right here. They're going to cut to the sheriff. We're just about there. And he's going to be internalizing what just happened to his deputy.
Okay.
This is a close colleague and friend that has died, right? And then the Oliver Platt just shits all over it with his comedy. Just shits on the whole scene.
Okay.
Guess I'll never get it.
We are a few moments too soon for this conversation, but we're getting there, Mike.
Okay.
Damn it, Mike.
Okay, anyway, so Bridget Fonda fell in the water for the third time.
Well, that's over now. Nobody cares.
Everybody take a shot.
Yeah, right. I still say it is. And now this is where the shoehorn relationship almost has to come in. So
we saw the flirtatious stuff and whatever. And
okay, this is the scene right here, Mike. If you listen closely, he's like,
yeah.
Doesn't even know.
So now he's hanging upside down. Is that not great? Is that great for the emotional
it's
impact?
Not comedic.
Him
it's
hanging upside down,
but it's not comedic.
You're gonna have to define how that's not
comedic. Comedy has punchline setups and the ending. The humor can be everything relatable.
The setup was him setting up the trap. Literally, the setup was setting up a trap.
No,
the punchline was him getting tripped while he's having an emotional movement.
Forcefully rationalizing an explanation for this. It's absolutely unreal.
I feel like a really good emotional emotional moment.
Bear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's gonna happen to the bear, guys? What's gonna happen?
This is where we first get to see the crocodile.
Completely unpredictable. Oh, right, alligator or crocodile. What is it again?
That's
the
not
crocodile. That's a Kodiak.
That
is it a Kodiak?
It's not a grizzly.
No. Grizzlies are known by their hump.
Right.
Kodiaks. Kodiaks are only pretty isolated, not to me.
Yeah, it's not a brown bear either, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a CGI.
But it was well used CGI. We don't have to sit through all this CGI stuff.
Well, Stan Winston also did this movie, so there's going to be a lot of practical too. So
who's Stan Winston?
Hollywood's greatest makeup effects man.
Oh, okay.
Next to arguably Rick Baker, but Stan Winston did anything James Cameron's ever done pretty well, like any of the Terminators, anything like that. He did Jurassic Park, he did Aliens, he did Predator, he did. So
that's a pretty good list.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Only some of the greatest special effects.
Right. Well, practical effects. Like he makes the creatures practically. Him, like Todd Savini's a classic horror one, and so
he's no longer with us, right?
No, Stan Winston is not. Rick Baker still is. Rick Baker did a lot of werewolf things. He did American Werewolf in London. He did The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro. He did Michael Jackson's Thriller. He did.
Wasn't he tied into Walking Dead too?
He might have been,
Probably in the
he might have been, so
they have incredible makeup on that show. Like they do an amazing.
Rick Baker is more of a makeup guy than he's a creature creator. Stan Winston was a creature creator, and in fact, Industrial Light and Magic, which everybody knows, Industrial Light and Magic, right, is actually Stan Winston's.
Okay.
So,
speaking of that makeup and content creator, one of my favorite reality shows was Face Off. Has anybody ever seen that?
Like Nicolas Cage?
No.
That's not a reality show.
It's a reality show where makeup artists create monsters and build monsters within the show, and it's all practical aesthetics and foam, and they do it over a 3-day span, and it's a
Okay.
competition.
I hate.
It's on Amazon.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hate reality TV. So.
Typically, I know some people don't like it, but that one is different because this is the reality show where Betty White.
You son of a! There was technical difficulties here. It was on me. Difficulties. And somebody was just like, "Oh, we need a pause to start recording." Thanks, Mike. Thanks.
Anyway.
Hey, it's Betty White. Betty White is my favorite character in this movie.
Favorite character.
Actually, have to agree with you.
Favorite character number 4, is it?
Yeah.
No, only 3. This is
No, we're
3
on
so
3
far.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is where our, little pod opening thing comes in.
Oh, yeah.
If I actually had a dick, I'd tell you to suck it.
That's feel like a Laura thing to say as well.
It does.
It really does.
So
You're so
why
classy.
do you think she blindfolded the cow?
So it wouldn't spook.
So it wouldn't spook you.
I don't know if that would
If
work
I was
or
a
not.
cow and I was getting led, because the alligator was there or crocodile was there the whole time. So would the cow willingly go towards the water?
I don't know about that, but I know my wife's the daughter of a guy in the outfitter. When they blind horses, that's what it's for. So they're focused on it,
Yeah.
so that they don't see peripheral.
That's
they
why
don't
they're
catch
called blinders.
blinders. And this would be the same if it's right in front of the cow. So
Crocodile's not a natural known predator of the cow per se.
Well, not with that attitude.
I don't think with the crocodile sitting there still, it would spook the cow. Though cows do spook pretty easy.
The fact that it's sitting there in the water so calm.
And as it gets closer, it slowly opens its mouth. Yeah.
Like, look, Mom's coming, food time.
Why does she get so mad about them taking the cow later, but she's like taking her own cows to feed it?
because
it's
of their
hers.
intentions. Because of their intentions.
But they're gonna save the cow. They're gonna save the alligator too.
No,
The crocodile.
they take the cow to lure the alligator so that they can kill it. Crocodile, so that they can kill it.
We're really bad. Every single one of us has mislabeled him in this podcast. Like, repeatedly.
What's the difference
crocodile.
between an alligator and a crocodile?
The size.
Well, no, it's like one.
I know where you're going with this.
One you see later, the other one you
You'll
see
see it
after a while.
See it a while, yeah. That never gets old. If we have any people born over the year 2000 listen to this, they're like, I don't get it.
I've checked out our demographics. We don't.
Yeah. Yeah, the demographics of people in our age range. So
Yeah, most of the people listening to us are Gen Xers.
Well, on a good note, my son has not messaged me and told me to stop doing this, so I think it's not too bad.
meanwhile, he's humoring you by saying he's actually listened to it.
That's true.
Is he the one lone under 24-year-old that we have listening in the
He's
analytics?
22. I was on 23. So.
Logan, we love you.
Shout out.
Let's not give him too big of a shout out. He's not really upticking the numbers that much.
Logan, share.
You be playing it with all his roommates, laughing at us.
Yeah,
What is
not laughing
this
with us,
old
laughing
pictures?
at us. Yeah.
What are these old people talking about?
Way back in my day.
Back when movies were movies.
Back when movies were the predecessor to everything that's made today.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
everything's the movies you get today are a remake of our movies. So you guys just be happy.
Yeah.
Which can make us the reason why there's no new movies being made nowadays. Like, are we the fault of why there's no new ideas in Hollywood?
No, because a lot of them are younger than us,
That's
and they
millennials.
have no new ideas.
That's millennials.
As a millennial, I take offense to that.
Well, you know what?
Okay, but
Stop doing it then.
But okay, I'm classified as a millennial too, but I fall into the Gen X.
No, you don't.
I was saying attitude maybe, but not by year.
You are firmly a millennial.
No.
You are firmly a millennial. I'm not. I am firmly a millennial, and you're younger than me.
I am most definitely a Gen X.
And
I'm shockingly only a few years out of Boomer.
I.
There's old.
Have I mentioned on this podcast yet how old you are?
I was born in the greatest year that ever happened.
Yeah,
69. Dude.
You know, I heard that song wasn't about the year, but more of the
act thereof.
the thing with the dude with the
Oh, that's 96.
That's 96.
They call it 96 now because of inflation. So, I mean, this is such awesome practical effects.
With the alligator and the.
Oh,
and
yeah. How do you deny that?
That's Stan Winston right there, right?
Yeah.
So
he doesn't seem to care whether or not she shoots him right now. Like, he's save the crocodile, save the crocodile. But if
he
it's bringing
knew
down
that
my
gun
helicopter.
wasn't going to do anything. So.
I guess that's my lowest point in this movie for me. It's just like, we're talking about this 8 to 10 ton ancient dinosaur that still exists is killing people, and they want to save it. You're there. You're right there in its path, people. You know, Betty White, I get it because she's an old,
like
caring, wonderful
a mother
being,
to it.
but
Yeah.
yes.
And
You think
at
she'd be
the
upset? You think she'd be upset after it got her husband?
She
gave the husband to it.
Yeah, I know, but you still think she'd be a little upset about that.
Well, I'm sure she's upset like my husband.
Because she got her,
sucks.
But she admitted too. You know, he nagged at her until finally she said, "Okay," and killed him.
Remember the Dixie Chicks? And yes, I said Dixie Chicks did the song about Earl.
Earl
Yeah.
gotta die.
Yeah.
Earl's gotta die.
Was Betty White buried to an Earl?
Yeah.
A sick Earl that
Yeah.
would feed crocodiles.
Goodbye.
Except for Earl was beating his other half. So.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get away with beating Betty White. I think she'd beat you right back up.
Oh, yeah, in a battle of wits, Betty White will take anybody down. So,
somebody could threaten her physically, and she'll verbally make them want to cry.
Right.
How does somebody that's 80 pounds soaking wet viscerally destroy you?
I mean, it's always the little ones.
I can't remember what documentary I've seen, but they talked about how she dominated, the whole industry she was in. She made shit happen with what she did. She made smart choices. Nobody took advantage of Betty White. Anything that ever happened to Betty White because she allowed it.
Well, even like her simple character in Golden Girls, right?
Yeah.
She was still the lovable one. She wasn't the dominant character, but she was the lovable one. So
Find me someone whose favorite character isn't Betty White from the Golden Girls.
I mean, Sophia was pretty awesome.
Oh, that's the old mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was actually younger than the oldest Golden Girl.
The baby Arthur?
I can't remember which one it was, though, but yeah. She had put on a wig, and yeah. When I think of Estelle Getty, that's who played Sophia, I think of the movie Mannequin. She was in that for like all of 15 minutes, but she was pretty funny. So.
And yet, okay, they're back at camp, and her fucking tent still doesn't have a fly on it.
And again, their clothes, all their clothes
pristine.
are mint. Yeah.
She probably brought 3 luggage.
Right, she did. She had that huge suitcase.
Yeah.
But like his cop uniform, which has been through the ringer.
Yeah.
Or not his cop, but his Fish and Wildlife.
Fish and
uniform.
Wildlife.
Yeah. And it's mint. So.
But it's Bill Pullman. He's just gotta be dreamy the whole time. Like he's gotta be
his
perfectly
aura blocks
unbuttoned.
dirt.
It doesn't look dirty at all. Okay, with how many times she's been in the water, I can kind of get that.
Plus her hair.
She's
Can
changing
your hair
clothes.
really look that good after being in that kind of water that many times? It's not like there's showers there.
He probably has a shower.
Oh yeah, the Oliver Platt character.
Yeah,
he totally has a shower.
But
He
would
kind of looks right there like he just showered. So.
But would he share? Because at this point, he's getting mad at
Oh, she's
Not with her.
Shit.
them.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he's the greasiest looking of the bunch right now. He's like the most uncleanly looking, like Brendan Gleeson and Bill Pillman. They both their clothes look perfectly clean. They look just no dirt at all. He's kind of disheveled.
And, yeah.
Yeah, for a rich guy, he is the dirtiest looking of the bunch.
I don't understand where her clothes are how her clothes are so nice right now.
Especially when they're all like light colors.
Mhm.
I still feel like in the overall arc of everything here, we are struggling to find things really wrong with this movie. I mean, it is so good on so many levels that we're picking apart
The wardrobe.
It's the most awful, amazing movie out there.
Like, we could do one of its sequels if we really want to do a terrible movie.
Okay,
I'm
but
good.
now once you start getting into the sequels, then they're really bad.
Oh yeah.
I do secretly really want to watch Lake Placid versus Anaconda, because
That's a thing?
that's
It
Yes.
it.
There's like 5 of these
What?
stupid
And
movies.
I can't bring myself to watch that.
I have a
I just want to see
confession.
John Voight get swallowed by an anaconda again.
I have a confession to make. I really like the Sharknado movies. I think they're stupid fun. I realize they're a terrible movie. Oh god, okay, the cow is going from Betty White's farm. This is awesome.
And this is where she tells them all that they're cocksuckers, and she knew it when she saw them.
You just can't steal someone's cow. Who cares if you're the cops and a rich guy with a helicopter? You just
Look at
can't
his
steal.
wagging his tail like he's just having a blast. It's
Wee.
so joke or something. I've probably never seen what the fuck was the name of that movie? The war movie with Duvall. They supposedly blew up the water buffalo. I love the smell of napalm.
I want to say
Apocalypse
Apocalypse
Now?
Now.
Yeah. They rumored that they actually blew up an actual water buffalo for that.
Well,
I don't think they did. They might have, but
that movie was made back before you had to put no animals were hurt in the making.
Coincidentally,
of
I
this
think it
movie.
was 79 too.
yeah, it would have been 70s for sure. But
My thing is, why is she using binoculars here when you can clearly see the cow?
she wants to see
She's
the
got
expression
cat
on his
eyes,
face.
okay?
She wants to see the crocodile coming out of the water. So, really off topic. Have any of you guys ever seen Milo and Otis?
Long time ago.
Heard of it?
So they killed so many animals in the making of it. Google it sometime. It is terrible. There's a scene where a cat's like falling off a cliff, and what they just kept doing was just literally tossing cats off a cliff.
I mean,
Jerks.
It was terrible. They went through like 20 cats, a bunch of
wasn't
dogs.
that Disney too?
No, I don't think that was
No?
Disney. It was
No.
some Japanese company, and they just spliced stuff together.
Okay. Oh no, Homeward Bound is what I'm thinking of. That was Disney.
Yeah, Homeward Bound
Yeah.
was Disney.
Michael J. Fox
Yeah,
was the one.
Michael J. Fox and
Sally Field.
Sally Field was the cat, and was it Robert Redford? I think was the dog.
The old golden lab.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was Roseanne was the cat, not Sally Field.
No,
Let's look who's talking.
Two.
No, 3. The third.
2.
Three. No, three.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, she was born at the end of 2. It was Joan Rivers who did her voice,
Yes.
and then in 3 it was her. Yeah,
3. It was the animals.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, in number 2, they have the.
No, they had the kid at the end of the first movie, and it's Joan Rivers, and then the
Yes.
second movie it's Roseanne,
Yes.
and then in the third movie it's the animals. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Who does the animals? Do you guys remember who does the
I don't
animals and
I
who's knocking down?
I don't think I even watched those ones. I just watched the first because those were fun movies. So
The first one was good. First one was good fun. Oh look, someone forgot to silence one of their phones. Hey Corey, can you take over this for a little while?
uh-oh.
Somebody impotent needs to talk to him.
Well,
Oh, important, I mean. Sorry. I'm not good with words.
Words are hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I know we've lost our train of thought without Jeff here.
Oh,
This scene totally reminds me of Jurassic Park.
that just looks.
Where they're
look,
dangling,
nighttime,
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's one thing with this one. You've already set the bait. The crocodile is coming. Why is the cow still in the water?
It's just thrashing around. It's following. I don't know how.
They can make enough noise on land now to keep pulling that thing forward.
One would think.
Oh,
The timing of that guy in the helicopter that can't see directly through his legs Oh, I suppose he could.
But then he loses the poor cow.
Whoa. Crazy ass
But
driver.
then he can't get the airplane.
There he goes.
Helicopter to go
Release the
straight out.
cow.
Where's the Kraken? I mean the cow.
And then he crashes. Like,
Okay, it's a little nothing scene, but that one little frame where the blade whipped by you.
Yeah, watch that in 3D.
That would have been a great 3D moment.
Yeah.
It was like totally unnecessary in 2D, but
see, and then all of a sudden it's to hell with the Trankins.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just kill him.
It's as all of them put down the Trankins and they pick up
The big ass rifles / shotguns. Yeah. Just go and swim. It's fine.
Just keep swimming.
it's the big ending. Everybody's all together. All the heroes are all together.
It's like Family Guy Star Wars. I think we can relax. 4 out of the 5 of the main characters are in this ship. And Oliver Platt's in the water.
Wow, that lake gets deep quick. Like,
Yeah.
He was what 4 steps in, and he's already to his waist.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
He's fine.
And now he's only at his knees. I don't think he's moved. Continuity here. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah, she's on the pontoon still.
No, he went back to the pontoon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry. He's on the pontoon. That's why he's standing properly. So, I lost my train of thought again. God damn it. So they got the alligator / crocodile on the land now, and now it's like Jurassic Park with the T-Rex chasing the Jeep all over again.
Oh,
And look, she
falls
fell
out.
out.
And she falls out of the boat. I mean, the truck.
Yeah.
A combat roll, quickly spin into position.
But this would be what we would consider the climax of the movie.
Yes.
And they're going to shoot the crocodile in the ass because, that works.
And
she's in the water.
That's 4?
That's 4, yep.
Yeah.
That is a big ass crocodile.
Yes. You missed it. She fell into the water.
Oh, is this time number 6?
I think we're only on 4, but
They were
yeah.
at 4.
You were at 4? Well, at least we're not going to be completely drunk by this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's swimming quicker than she is.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like,
it lives.
I would say it's like it can. Yeah.
Oh, she died.
How do you honestly
That makes sense.
see under the water? How do you see under the water in murky water
At night.
at night? Where is that
And,
light
like,
coming from?
Why would you think that you could outswim a crocodile? Like,
Oh yeah, absurd. It's just. It's like when the tree's falling on you, you're gonna run directly away from it.
Well, that's like even in like when car chase things, like when somebody's running away from a car that's chasing them, they just go in a straight line. I'm like, the car's gonna win this one every time.
Yeah.
And of course, she's stuck in a route now.
Well, in movie logic, she can hold her breath for 20
really
minutes.
Smart crocodile. I just have to say.
Oh Christ! I was watching a TV show on CTV, Special Forces, and they had this one where they have to go into the helicopters submerged. They've got to unbuckle, get out, grab the life, and swim out. Now, reality is we're sitting here. It took her about 20 seconds. But I'm holding my breath for 20 seconds for an old guy that has really bad lung capacity. It's like, holy cow.
Time 5, she's back in the water.
Yeah.
Wait, is she out of the water and back in, or does she never get out of it?
Are you trying to
No,
imply
he-
she's in for the 5th
He
time?
pulls
That's all
her
I-
out of the water onto the helicopter,
Oh, yeah.
so she's back in the water. So
Yeah.
that's-
It's very clever of them to use the helicopter as a trap. You can just tell the sheriff is itching to use that shotgun. He's
What
just like,
makes you say that?
he's been holding it for like 5 minutes with it up.
Plus,
to
I
his
just
face.
wanted to see it get used. Look at that thing.
He could have ended this whole thing if he had just shot that thing while it was on land.
But then Betty White would have been sad.
Betty, what?
She said anyway!
Oh, and here comes the The misdirection.
I like
Fuck
how it looks
you.
like he's missing an
I-
eye too, so I think of Happy Gilmore.
I don't think that was an alligator, not a crocodile. Because there's a difference.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
The drugs are kicking in. They shot it with one itty bitty dart that
Well,
makes him.
But they said that the trank in it was enough to whatever. So
What, dropping
Kill a
dropping
dinosaur?
elephants?
No.
Elephants always what they use. Like, this thing will drop an elephant.
Well, they need one that'll kill a dinosaur.
Well, we got to think that this is mass-wise pretty fucking close, if not more than an elephant.
well, it's 30 feet, and it's I couldn't fathom guessing its weight.
Yeah.
I was at a reptile museum in South Dakota, and they have the world's largest alligator there, and it's a 27-footer,
Wow.
and I got to see it, and it was amazing.
I guess I don't know if I'd want to see something that large because, like, that could just bust out at any time. I feel like.
Well, it was pretty old, so it was pretty subdued. But and then they had snakes there. They had like on the stage where they just don't kind of dump snakes down. They had the snake wranglers and everything like that, and they had a cobra, and they kept him in a glass because they knew better.
How come nobody figures out that he's got a dart gun in his hand? Like, they're just like, oh, don't shoot him, don't shoot him, don't shoot him. Like, that's clearly
she's from the she's not a defense department. She's from the anthropological department or whatever.
Paleontology.
Paleontology?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So according to this, at 30 feet,
There's two of them.
a 30-foot crocodile would weigh 3.45 metric tons.
Holy crap.
That's like a few pounds more than me. So.
7,000-ish pounds.
Yeah. What? Oh.
That gun works really good. I want one.
Way better than the trank.
Yeah. Wow.
Look how pleased he is.
And now he's like, oh, shit.
Go to sleep.
But no wonder they totally prepped this thing for sequels. Like, look, there's a second one in here.
Well, at the end, don't forget the babies.
Yeah,
right?
Betty White's feeding the babies.
Yeah, but why is this alligator this big? Because it's hundreds of years old? Or because it just is a fat pig and ate everything it could find?
They don't really
Both.
say.
So those little ones, Betty White, they're good for 22,150. There'll be a bunch of all of these things. I'm just my brain process on that. It's old.
Unfortunately, Betty White
And there's
will
the
never
cow.
get to see it. Yay, the cow survived.
That is the most comedic moment in the entire movie. Cow walking away.
I'm pretty sure it's when Brendan Gleeson gets tripped in the booby trap.
That was comedic. It really was.
Horror.
It's quite dramatic too, actually, if you think about it.
It was a dramatic moment.
Yes, absolutely.
And that action of when he flew upwards. So
It was kind of
You think he had a
horrific.
stunt
yeah.
I'm confident he had a stunt double for that. Yes. Actually, it might have been a dummy.
He was a lot. No, it wasn't a dummy, but he was a lot younger.
I would say Brendan Gleeson's pretty dedicated to his craft. I don't know. So
Yeah, he's underrated.
yeah, he really is. All right. I know we kind of touched on it. This is going to be kind of our new thing. I think we really had a great time last week doing what genre is it that I think we're going to start incorporating the facet of that in every episode. So where would you put this in the video store? I'll go first. And this movie literally delves in every genre, in my opinion. I would stick with putting it in horror.
It's I gotta kind of stick with you. Like I said at the beginning that I feel like it's a comedy horror, and I still think it's a comedy horror. But to put it in the video store, it's gotta go into horror. I guess you can't put it in action, can't put it in sci-fi.
The other thing that's pissing me off is that I keep thinking of the horrific elements of this movie, and then it makes me flash back to Jurassic Park. I'm like, God damn it, I refuse to agree with Jeff.
Yeah, there's less horror moments in this movie than there is in Jurassic Park. And no one will concede with me.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
But, like, I guess I don't know where else you could put this movie in the video store.
No, like Scream is comedy horror, and it's still in horror.
Okay, I wouldn't argue with you. I would not call you guys wrong. But what Corey said earlier, it delves into so many different genres in such a tasteful and elegant way compared to the clunkiness of other films. And I think we're looking at it belongs in 4 different genres, but it's like 20% this and 15% that and 20% this. As a fan of the movie, I put it in drama. If I'm a producer of the movie, I put it in horror.
Now, what the funny part is, see right there, how much crocodile by Stanley's studio. Anyway, what's it called? The funny thing is, remember, what is my definition of horror?
Yeah, yeah.
This is not my definition of horror,
Well,
and
you-
yet I put it
You
in
could
horror.
argue the crocodile's size is the supernatural aspect of it.
Maybe yeah. Anyway, Laura.
So, again, like when we first started it, I said that I thought it would belong in sci-fi action. Now,
Weirdo.
everything that I've read, it takes the sci-fi out of it. However, I can't classify it as a horror. Because, again, it's got all those elements, but I put it in staff picks.
Oh, that's a
Talking
bogus
about the
Cop-out.
bogus. No, you're not allowed.
Yes, actually,
You are not allowed.
Because it's got, it gets its own shelf then, because it's got all
Its
the
own
elements.
shelf.
It doesn't belong.
Like,
4-foot shelves of movies. 4-foot shelf of movies. 4-foot shelf of a movie.
Laura, I think we're going to make you.
I can't choose. I cannot actually choose. Because for me, it's not a horror. I cannot put it in a horror.
Okay, fair enough. Where else can you not put it? Let's
Yeah, where?
let's put it. Is it a comedy?
It's not a drama. It's got comedy to it. It's got action to it.
I'd say if not horror, it's action. That's in
But
my
it's got
opinion.
realism to it too.
Is realism a
Genre.
a genre?
Well,
See, realism is drama in my mind. Drama is a grounded, realistic, emotional type piece thing. But
Mhm.
I mean, if you just count Betty White as herself for this one, there's your comedy.
yeah.
So I honestly.
So you're not putting it in horror. You're
Look.
not.
According to what is this on? Cody?
Cineplex.
Cineplex. It is a action horror thriller.
Would you put it in action?
I'd put it more in action then.
Okay.
Okay, that's something.
And
Yeah,
again,
because-
thriller is not a topic at a video store, unfortunately. It
No,
is
it's
like in the
super
grand
horror.
scale ones, like back in the day when a video store was like
Yeah.
a freaking 20,000 square foot place,
Yeah.
maybe.
I-
But
But even then, thriller was lumped in with horror.
generally, or
Yeah.
at least between action and horror.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting that thriller is lumped in with horror. Interesting. Very interesting.
In a time.
It might be interesting, but Jurassic Park was still put in action.
You know, there was a time where pop music was actually called rock. I think we're.
I mean, was Michael Jackson ever rock?
No.
Exactly.
Oh, Billy
But
Jean's.
yes.
Billy Jean's got some slap guitar in it, though.
Yeah, let's go with Eddie Van Halen. No, let's beat it. That's Eddie Van
Yeah,
Halen.
you
sorry.
just can't do staff picks, so that's a cop out.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, so
I can't find a place to put it, so I'm literally.
You're
sticking
putting it in action.
I'm sticking it in action because that's what that says.
okay, so that's 3 different shelves in 3 different video stores that it goes to, which is I'm don't laugh at it in the sense that that's the subjective perspective we all have. So.
You know, it's hard to, honestly, except for the drama one, it's hard to argue.
What?
Yes.
It had 1 second of romance.
No, I didn't say romance, drama. Drama and romance are very different.
Oh,
I feel
so it had 1 second of romance and 2 seconds of
Yeah,
my
come
best
on.
friend
It was
died.
grounded, emotional reality. Nobody behaved, I felt, in an absurd, outrageous way.
some dude flew in a helicopter that was painted like a crocodile.
Again,
It was a little
you're,
absurd.
You're twisting it to suit a certain perspective.
Well, I'm just saying that's like
okay,
that's a little bit absurd.
He's a crocodile expert. He studied them all his life. He considers them deities. why would you not paint your helicopter off of something that you know so much about?
He's not.
He didn't fly in on bat wings or crocodile wings. That's what I mean. It was grounded
That's
in a
probably for the best.
real element.
Crocodile wings?
Yeah.
I wanna see that.
Like, if it-
That's called a dragon. So,
He was Batman, but without all the cool stuff and the cool background or whatever.
Yeah, he was just a rich guy that could do whatever the hell
But I
he
mean,
wanted.
nobody
Right?
broke laws of physics and no.
See, and that
supernatural-
takes up the whole sci-fi thing.
And I know, and that's where I say it's a drama because it's the suspense and the building of the relationships between the characters. I say it's a very character-driven movie or story, and it's the characters and their relationships with each other which cause and create a drama that engages us, whether it's through humor or anything else. So that's my argument.
See, and like for me, even sticking in an action, like I'm gonna go more that way based on like how Corey and I look at horror movies. It doesn't have that supernatural. It doesn't have any. Yeah, it's a monster, but they exist.
For what a drama is to me, that's the only one I got any trouble with it because he just doesn't take itself serious enough to be a drama, in my opinion. And there's a certain it's a certain
Well, I
seriousness.
think it takes itself far too seriously. That's the point. I think it takes it very seriously.
I almost see Jeff's perspective because it is completely contrary to what you just said. I think it doesn't. It's a serious situation. There's an alligator killing people or crocodile. Whatever. I don't think I've got it right once.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it takes a serious situation but doesn't take it seriously.
Yeah, they're making jokes about a toe and he was taller. Like
And
That-
meanwhile,
that's not
there's a
taking-
head, but there's no crime scene afterwards.
mhm.
So
Well, they're not taking it into a reality sense, but they're taking the situation seriously. No, every situation is based with a realistic, grounded sense of sarcasm.
I think the
And that's-
sarcasm is what takes away from the groundism, to be honest,
I'm
because
sorry.
there's not real emotion.
Do you know what sarcasm is?
Well,
Coping mechanism.
We've lived through this. Like,
yeah,
you know,
sarcasm is a coping mechanism.
can
But-
you be
but-
more sarcastic?
there's
There's a
there's
shout out to
Th-
somebody.
there's very few moments of real emotion, except for like hyper scared moments from the yuppie, or like any moments of like dramatic. What's the term? I'm
Okay.
looking for?
I'll give you that for the sake of argument. But what is the action? What's her name? Falling in the boat 5 times?
Alligator-
A lot of action there.
Alligator chasing people. That's
Yeah.
action.
Yeah,
He-
Plus the music. That every good action movie has a score that
Yeah,
makes it good, and this movie has a score.
that's-
the
Same with horror
score
movies.
fit the moment in every moment. That's what was so great about the score, right? When we were dramatic, when we were emotional, it fit it. And then when we delved into the sarcasm, it followed through, and the score presented every.
But that's very much the same with horror movies too. And if you
Yeah.
listen to every horror movie, the music is vastly different than the music that was played in this.
I really liked the soundtrack in this because
That was good.
it was better than I remember.
The
it being.
score is
What I liked-
Yeah.
What I liked most about soundtrack is I didn't notice it. I felt it.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, and
Like I said, except where I found the crocodile theme to be a little too knockoffy of Jaws.
Well, this is kind of a
Well,
Jaws
yeah,
knockoff.
I know.
Touch
I'm
cliche.
sure it was probably on purpose, but I just that kind of bugged me a little
I mean, but that was the point in this one. It's like it's a knockoff of Jaws, and then you've got Anacondas, which is a knockoff of both.
Yeah.
So
I think Anacondas came out before this.
I don't remember.
Maybe
Yeah, I think Anacondas was
I
96.
remember-
I think it was early 2000s.
Jennifer Lopez and John Voight. That's all I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
I thought that.
Anyway, just to reiterate back, I think again into the genres, I still think that you guys are putting it into horror, like you said, out of default.
Yes,
Because there's not
that is
enough
why
blood.
it's.
And I'm saying the same thing in drama, but I think we're nitpicking over like a 5% or 5
Okay, real quick.
separation.
If
When did this one come out?
99.
99.
Okay, so Anaconda did come out first.
Interesting. Anyway, what's it called? So if you worked at a video store
Yes.
and somebody said, "Can you recommend a good drama?" Would you recommend this movie?
Did I own the video store or do I work at one?
You work at one.
Your
Lake
opinion?
Placid. I would possibly say this. It's got such great elements. I really love it. It's got some good emotions. It's got great comedy elements.
Okay,
humorous
if a
elements.
90-year-old came into the store looking for a good drama,
Lawrence of Arabia.
but I'm saying, would you recommend this movie?
I recommend fried green tomatoes.
Well,
honestly.
Again, I wouldn't. This isn't a movie that fits into any real category to me. I could recommend this to any kid. I need a good fun movie to watch that's got some humorous elements. Lake Placid. I want something that's a little bit exciting and has some adventure to it, but not too deep. Lake Placid. Drama is a word that's very specific. The Whale is a drama because it's so whatever, undeniably.
Anything else?
This is deniably and arguably in every element, right? So it's part thrillers, part action, part comedy, part drama, part horror, part, So how I perceive it, I love the character relationships. And that, to me, is where the drama comes from. The interaction between each character and how they connect with each other. And they flowed in a sense where it seemed organic in the world they presented us. Not our world, that world.
Remember when we all agreed to disagree that to Jeff about Jurassic Park being a horror? Unfortunately, this might be the
I never disagreed with him about being a horror.
I'm just saying this might be the hill you die on, and we're going to agree to disagree that this will never be a drama. So
I understand your viewpoints about it with the character-driven aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as I can.
That's all I needed from you, Jeff. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because
I'm not.
It's a very, very character-driven movie. Like this whole, they're driving the boat this whole time as the characters of this movie.
Absolutely.
When they were given the scripts, they were given probably a backstory for each character. Obviously you always do, but I'm saying they had a good 1-inch backstory script of each character to work with.
No doubt.
So.
And they could take this, put it into Australia, turn that crocodile into an ostrich, and those same characters with that same, it would do just as well.
Yeah.
I
could agree with that.
And that's so. I'm not here to fight and to die, whether it should come out of horror or whatever it is. But for me, I have to, by default, go to drama because of that element. That's the element that I have to go by, is the characters, the relationships that I loved.
See, and I completely respect that, which is why it's so hard for me to actually put it into a section, because there's so many elements.
It is a difficult movie to play.
I more agree with Laurel than you, too.
Then it should go into the...
It should go in staff basement.
I agree.
Okay, Laura. All right.
Okay, guys. Final thoughts. Corey, you go first.
It's like I watched it today, before this, for the first time in, it's got to be in the double digits for years, and it's exactly what I remember. But that said, it's not a great movie while being a great movie. So, right? Like it's really not a great movie, but yet it's the most fun you can have in a movie. So
like Mike said, the characters in it,
the characters alone, yeah, totally. So rating, I would say it's a solid 3.9 out of 5.
That's pretty good. That's better than I thought you were gonna do.
So,
Laura, final thoughts?
Oh, jeez, I thought we were going clockwise.
They don't know how we're sitting.
Well, now they do. So, I'm in agreement with Corey. Based on the age and it's I wouldn't say it's a cult classic, but it's one that you can't say is horrible. You just can't. So I'd have to go the same, but it was 3.9.
Get 3.9.
I've never done a 0.9.
Right?
It seems like a strange rating.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
You-
quite qualify for
You just can't give it a 4, eh?
Right.
And it's better than a 3.75. So
Right.
Mike, I feel like we know that you're going to give this a good rating.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to take in because I don't want to. I respect a 4 out of 5 or a 3.9 out of 5. That is by any nature a respectful score to any movie. I just don't know if I agree that it's not a good movie. I think it's a better movie than you think it is, and I like it a lot more. Now, not to
well, let's not forget this is your pick, so you should like it.
Absolutely,
So-
but I think if you look at the structure and the elements they brought into it, those elements that were successful within this movie so far outweigh the elements that weren't successful, and I don't feel like there's a real negative vibe in any sense towards it being a movie. It flowed, it had characters, it had all the elements we want in a good movie. So I say it's a good movie, and I very much liked it. So I'm probably a 7.5 out of 10 for being a good movie, and a 9 out of 10 for being I liked it.
But that's an admirable rating. I like that rating.
So 7.5. You think of it that way, a 3.9 is a 78. So technically, we outrank
And
it.
like I said, I respect your scores. The issue I had is that you say it's not a good movie in a good movie, and I don't know if I comprehend that. I think it was a good movie and it was well
Have you ever
done.
heard Jeff rate something?
Yeah,
We don't need to have to make sense in this podcast.
It's a good movie, but it's not a great movie.
That's not what he said.
You have to understand Corey logic. So
Because
it's a good movie.
Question
but
is,
it's
how
not-
do you?
Because
You
we
know
both
me
have
for
the
too
same
long,
movie.
so,
There's
yeah.
that, but
that's what I'm saying. It's a very white movie for not being white. What the fuck does that mean? You know,
and again, I'm more white than everybody here. Like,
Are
and
you though?
if we go
and
by
that's
very-
not
yes.
that was not even
No,
meant
if you
to
look
be the
at
way it was
you,
taken either.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say it was Avatar. That's a very blue movie for not
It
being
is a very blue movie.
That's racist, sir.
But it's
But yeah.
blueism.
Yeah.
I think it was a very well done movie.
We could have nitpicked this to death.
I'm sorry. I'm bumping up to 8.5 for well done.
Okay, you're bumping up for 8.5.
I talked myself into it.
Now he's higher than us.
Yes.
You realize you were a lower rating and you got to give it a little bit more, eh?
Well, I have to stand by my argument. So if I'm going to argue,
You could have said 7.9 out of 10, and you would have been 0.1 higher.
Right?
I'm at 8.5. So
8.5.
That's a big jump too.
yeah.
There's lots of nitpick in this movie if you really wanted to, but it's not so glaring that you should do it. Like almost every movie's got some sort of nitpick, right?
Obviously. Yeah.
There was good pacing in it. Like there was the one scene I was talking to you about where I thought they should have took an emotional moment, and I know you disagree with me, but I thought Oliver Platt kind of crapped all over a really good character development moment for the sheriff.
Which is odd coming from you, but okay, continue.
Well, I guess I didn't like he's trying to take a moment and mourn his deputy,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, when I was younger, I had dreams. Stupid. Didn't like it. Didn't like the comedy in it. Thought it was a bad time for that.
That's because it wasn't comedy; it was humor. Continue.
Sure.
God damn it, Mike.
Yeah, that
What's
makes
that?
a lot of sense.
I said, God damn it, Mike.
Fair enough. I'll take that. I'm frustrated.
I'm wavering on what I want to give it. I either want to give it I feel like it's a Temple of Doom with a 3/4 of a Raiders of the Lost Ark. I guessed about gave it a Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I'm really wavering on giving it a Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I'm glad you didn't put in a Last Crusade, because it didn't deserve a Last Crusade.
It's not a Last Crusade.
No.
No, it's definitely not.
Holy shit, am I starting to figure you out?
Yeah.
God.
You've been doing long enough with him that you should. I still have not figured this out.
I think.
I think it compounds, but
I I want to say that it
Psychosis
is
is
a
fun.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think it's 3 out of 4 Indiana Jones movies. I think
now I
it's
figured it out.
a Raiders of the Lost Ark.
He had to explain it, but now I get it.
I don't know what's so complicated about it.
So basically, each one of the movies had 25%. Roughly.
Not
It's
really.
not as simple as that. I don't think.
No.
because Crystal Skull is worth like 5%.
Yeah,
And
if something gets a crystal skull, it's
Each
Okay,
movie
so
represents.
one.
Each movie represents a percentage of how much he liked that
again,
movie
it's like
in
that
series.
French fry plus apple equals 30.
You know
and
what?
figure out
You know what?
yes.
The more I think about it, the more you guys are wrong about my rating system. And this gets a Temple of Doom with 3/4 of a Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
So what we
I
need
can get
Jeff-
behind that.
What we
Yeah.
need Jeff to do is build us a pie chart.
No.
He needs to rate. He needs to rate Indiana Jones.
Well,
With
I
his
did
if
do
you
Indiana-
that.
listen to our
Well,
first
I
5
wasn't
podcasts,
here.
so
If you build me a pie chart with your percentages on them with the name beside it, I can get
we
this.
can't do that. That's cheating. You have to figure it out on your own. It's a learning process.
It's taken me 15 years to learn you.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Frick, it's
long.
been a long time. Yes. Holy
Okay.
man.
Laura, what you got going on?
I figured out a movie for next week. But besides
Yay!
that,
Can you tell us in the podcast?
you and I were actually talking about it. Old dads.
Old Dads? I'm down
Ooh.
for Old Dads.
I'm excited. I don't
Is
have
that the
Netflix
one I was
anymore.
watching?
That was the one you were watching, yeah.
I just plugged it in before you got here.
I want to see that movie so bad. I'm actually pretty excited now. So
I don't know. We don't need it to fit into the theme of what genre is it, like this movie did, but
no,
I think it's a
totally-
great choice because we've been talking about
pretty
the.
flat out,
Yeah, Bill
Yeah.
Burr. Yeah,
and that might give me some visual descriptions on what comedy is, so that you can understand.
Okay, so I can understand the difference
The
between
difference
humor
between
and,
comedy
and
and
comedy.
humor.
Okay, yeah. Apparently, a guy going woo upside down in a snare trap is not comedy. Mike, what you got going on?
That was pretty funny.
Well, sure, fun.
It was
Being
very
funny
comedic. It was
is
very
not
good
relevant
comedic
to
timing.
Whether it's humor or
Okay, but
comedy,
this is the
they
same.
both can be funny.
Okay, but this is still the differentiation between like American humor and English humor because there's two different things.
That's a good example to break it down. I mean, it's about why you're laughing, not, that is the question. Why are you laughing? Are you laughing at somebody, with somebody, or for somebody?
In that moment, I was definitely laughing at somebody.
Right. So you'd be more on the English side.
I thought of it, yeah, and just like as far as the guy getting turned upside down, that was a different beat for me. That the beat had changed, he had moved on, and whatever. But anyway, whatever. Did you ask me something?
I asked what you got going on.
I'm going to be Santa Claus for the first time, so
Oh wow!
I'm heading out to the Battle River Rail Murder Mystery for the Murder at Santa's Workshop's Christmas Party.
which reminds me, I'll have that thing out to you probably by Wednesday. So
What's that?
I'll have that thing out to you probably by Wednesday.
No
Yes,
drug deals
please.
on the podcast, guys. We've talked about this.
Seriously.
It's what did I say? Salmonella? No, botulism. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm heading out there with a crew from Infinite, and we're gonna go have a blast out there. So that's cool. That's what we got going on.
Corey, what you got going on?
Work.
Work?
Oh shit, I got that too.
See, I'm not bringing in the drama of everything I have going on. This is like a
I thought we were having a good time here.
right.
Because that
Yeah.
can't be drama if you.
No
Work is
negativity,
drama.
Laura.
Which is why I'm not bringing up everything else I have going on.
Can't
No,
say
I
anything
just-
nice. Don't say anything at all.
I'm not Thumper. Like, I'm more like Betty White, if I had a dick, this would
Yeah.
tell you in a second.
Man, I don't want to see a crocodile in your backyard.
And yet I could see it.
I could see it too. I feel sorry for Mark if you ever get a crocodile in your backyard. Actually, I feel sorry for your boys.
Yeah, they'd be the first ones fed.
No, my boys would be taught how to feed it. It'd be more like a case of, oh, you pissed me off, come over to my house, come visit.
You ever seen The Last Supper? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Corey, start taking us home, buddy.
Alrighty, you know what? We're pushing like 6 months now. It's pretty awesome. I think this actually might be episode 24. Could be even 25. But either way, so thank you everybody for being along the ride with us. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. You've made it more interesting.
I finally woke up with you being here, so yeah, it's nice.
You finally woke up?
Yeah, apparently we put her to sleep. It's fine.
Oh.
Anyway, so follow us on the social media pages. Again, we do our written reviews on Facebook and Instagram, and then we link to our Spotify's. Anytime we have a new Spotify, I'll put up an ad. Hit us on Spotify once a week. Generally every Sunday you'll see it, maybe Monday. Yeah, we got some fun plans for Christmas. I'm not going to spoil them yet, but I'm pretty excited.
It's going to be a lot of coal.
Yeah, for all of us. So.
Oh, shit.
Okay, everybody, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Sayonara.
I was gonna say, is this where we do the obvious and see you later? Alligator in a wild
Oh, that would have been fitting.
Yeah, you got time to do that.
I do.
You've kind of blown past the joke. You got to do the joke and then explain it, not explain the joke before you tell it.
Oh well, either way, see you later, alligator.
In a wild crocodile.
Is that it?